Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. If you can do me a huge favor, leave a like on this one, I would really appreciate it. So, Chelsea are set to take on Crystal Palace in the opening game of the Premier League, at least for Chelsea. Of course, Arsenal played Brentford last night and we all know how that went. But nevertheless, this is about Chelsea and Crystal Palace. So overall, you absolutely are expecting Chelsea to win this game. It's a game that I'd expect us to get 3 points out of and move on to Arsenal in the next fixture. And given how that game against Brentford went, I'd expect 3 points, but we all know that teams can just turn up out of nowhere against certain teams, and Arsenal always seem to turn up against Chelsea, so I'm sure that'll be a tough game. But focusing on Crystal Palace v Chelsea, I think we're going to see a bit of a rotated squad in this one, just how we did in the Super Cup. I think we'll see more of the first team players such as, Mason, who wasn't really fit enough to play, Jorginho. Kante is not going to be playing, and neither is Ziyech. Kante already seems to be having fitness issues this summer, this season, so that's already a big problem for Chelsea. Is it a sign that we maybe need to go to the transfer market? Probably, because if we've got Kante who's already not fit and is going to need to rest the first few weeks of the season, we've got Jorginho who's come off a lengthy international campaign, combined with Kovacic, who is a great player, he's good for us, but does have his moments of worrisome. So all in all there, maybe a sign that we need to go to the midfield and strengthen, but for this game, Kante not available, so it's going to be Jorginho and Kovacic most likely as that midfield too. Sometimes we've seen it work, sometimes we haven't, and that is concerning initially, but I'm sure Tuchel's got a plan for it. I'm sure they'll be up for the game. We did see players looking a bit leggy though in that game in the Super Cup. Kovacic one especially, he did look a little lackluster at times, so it's a little bit of a concern, but let's hope it's nothing to worry about. As for the attacking side, Lukaku not available. We have officially announced him now, of course, but not registered, or maybe not fit enough and integrated into the tactical system enough ready to be played on in the game against Crystal Palace. But I think it's probably a quarantine issue with him coming in, of course, from Italy, so that's probably the case there. So it's probably going to be Kai Havertz, Timo, Mason, something like that, as those sort of front three for my predicted lineup. Midfield of Jorginho, Kovacic. For the wing-backs, I'm really not sure at the moment. Are we going to see a Pulisic, Callum Hudson-Odoi sort of wing-back role? Are we going to see the more traditional ones in Ben Chilwell and Reece James, which is more what I would personally like to see? I'm not too sure. And then the back three, are we going to see Thiago Silva feature? Are we going to see Azpilicueta feature? Rudiger, Christensen, we've got a lot of questions there. I'm not really going to go for a predicted lineup on this because I think it's too hard to call. Maybe once we have a bit more stability in that we have our players that are actually fit within the squad, maybe then I'll go for a predicted lineup in these match previews. But as of now, I think I'm going to give them a miss because it's just impossible to tell. We don't really know who's fit enough to be playing, so it's a tough one to call, but 3 points have to be the target in this fixture. If we start off like Arsenal have and immediately dropping 3 points in the opening weekend, not only is it's 3 points lost in a season where we should be challenging for the title, you're also thinking morale-wise, how does that affect the players? We've come into this season already winning a trophy, so that is a massive +1. We've won the Champions League just a couple months ago, so you really have to think this morale is high and we need to keep it there, get the wins off early, get the winning streak going, because we've got Arsenal in the next fixture. Yes, they did lose to Brentford, but they also are going to turn up probably more so in the game against Chelsea, and it seemed that they had a lot of players not ready. They were a little tired maybe in this game against Brentford, so their squad was a little mismatch, They didn't have Aubameyang, Lacazette, etc. in that team. Maybe they will against Chelsea, and it would be a different team, so we can't take them for granted, and we have to get 3 points at Palace and then move on to Arsenal and see what comes after that. But all in all, 3 points against Palace, absolutely what's necessary. I'm going to be doing a review after the game, so let's hope it's a positive one after the game. That is going to be it for this video. If you did enjoy, please leave a like on it, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.